Hey everybody, Adhpa here. If you're new to the channel, Adhpa is not my real name, but it's the name I use on this channel just because I'm delving into some really esoteric things, and that is sort of a nickname for myself that came as I was doing this, so I like to use it in this format. It seems somewhat appropriate. So that's all that's about. But I thought I'd come to you this week kind of without all the normal bells and whistles. I usually put on a little bit of makeup. I don't ever wear makeup in my real life. This is what I always look like in my real life. And also I didn't even bother to switch out of my house gear, as it were, because, you know, I think a lot of us are feeling kind of, well, we're concerned. We don't understand why things are going on that seem unnecessarily harsh, and perhaps illegal at the level of our government. It's a difficult time, and I think people are feeling it, and I feel it too. And when you're committed to being in full agency of your energy faculties, it doesn't mean that you no longer feel what everybody else feels. It's hard. It can be depressing. For myself in particular, it's very rainy here, and I'm a little bit old and creaky. So on top of the concerns I have about the society, I'm in some pain. Arthritic kind of joint pain that comes when this weather comes, and that always adds to it. I know there are a lot of people out there who are on top of everything else going on, struggling with health issues, in pain, not comfortable. So Maxie making an appearance in the back there. I just wanted to come on just sort of in the being just like everybody else, as I normally am, and talk about the elephant in the room. The elephant in the room. What's the only question people sort of in our circles are asking these days? There's only one question. When is this administration going to end? Specifically, when is the leader of this current administration in the United States going to stop being the leader and potentially stop being active at all? That's the only question people want an answer to. So I thought, well, heck, let's see what my cards pull on it. So I will use the Crow deck, which I find works really great for these kind of readings, and then I'll clarify with my pocket oracles, which I find also very helpful in giving me great information to clarify on the cards. So hold on, I'll bring you down, and we'll have a look-see and see what the cards have to say. Alrighty, so I have shuffled as usual, but do a little bit more shuffling here and focus in. Some of you may realize, if you've watched any of my other videos, that I've been doing this thing where I move through the days of the week for the day that I record. And today is Wednesday as I record. You'll see it Thursday. Wednesday is a karma day. So it's, I think it's an interesting day to pull on this. So the question is, what is this Trump administration? What is the timeline? What is going to happen to the administration when, you know, in terms of when will it end? Will it end normally at an election at the 4 years, where there'll be an end in the shorter term, and specifically regarding the leader of it? All right, so let's see what the cards will throw up for us on this. Oh, interesting. That is an interesting card to pull for the signifier. Okay, so Eight of Cups, this is that, some people call it the walking away. You might say turning back on the trivial. But I think since we really want to know when is this administration going to go away, this seems to be a good signifier card for that. And it seems to say, you know, when it has done about 80% of what it has intended to do. And that's interesting. That could mean 3 out of the 4 years, of course, or a bit more. That could mean in terms of what its intentions in terms of programs and stuff. So that could mean we're getting close to it, because what is the intention and what have they fulfilled? All right, let's get the clarifiers on that and see if that'll help us. Oh, we got that right away. Cards are really speaking. Oh, they definitely want that pack at the front. Okay. All right, so the clarifier for the signifier is the seer. And I think that's definitely what we're saying. We want to see, when is the walking away? Cards are listening. The challenge, make sure I got these up right. Nope, that's the wrong way. So it goes like this. The challenge, King of Pentacles. Pentacles being Earth, King being the director of the external actions of well-being, the Earth, well-being, physical well-being, is the challenge. So again, it looks to me like we're talking about the leader. That leader himself is the challenge. But let's see what the clarifier is. Luminous warrior. Again, when these are on their sides, you know, you read them as the most challenging aspect, and so sort of in the reversal. So we see the King of Pentacles, luminous warrior reverse. There is this, the challenge is, you know, something along the lines of the anti-well-being. The anti-well-being leader. What can be controlled, what he can control, or what can be controlled. And this is the Four of Cups. This is that offering of spirit. So fours, in the progression of the numbers of the tarot, fours are the commitment card. And when you're talking about energy, and you want to create something energetically, it has to be in alignment not only with the 3 earthly cups. So you have to have a triad of energies working together to get a complete stability. And then that has to bring in also connection to energy from the higher energies from the realm itself coming in. So in this sense, it is as if he had control over aligning with the higher spiritual energies. And that's clarified by the corn. It was, you know, it was growing. There was the ability. This is someone in an administration that believed they had the control over, you know, making it rain, sort of bringing. They were able to control over aligning with the creative energy and producing the harvest, as it were. Okay. Recent past, the Chariot, things are moving. So, he started this process. He got on this ride, took this train, upper world. Oh, that's interesting, because that sort of indicates that in the past there was an acceptance of this moving with the highest realms. Not expected to me, very interesting, but this is in the past. So there were high expectations that this would move things into a better, higher existence, higher plane. Could not control. Four of Swords. There's the commitment on the thinking. So here we have control of the energy, but not of the mind. Could not control where the mind will go in this scenario. And it leads to, cannot control the thinking coming together and bringing ends, or bringing a truce, or stepping back. If for what we're reading, of course, it's sort of like you can't control when the end will come. And that is clarified by the smoky mirror. Yeah, it can't be seen. It's not, this may not be something that's evident. It may be required. Something has to trigger it. There has to be an action, and if that action happens, then, and if it doesn't, then this. There's something here that's being obscured, that about the ending of this. What is the administration intentions? What are they intending? Two of Cups. That's that coming together of energies. They are trying to work within the dual nature of energy as it currently is, to create, to bring it together, to somehow align it. Clarified by the journey. Or maybe they're committed to this dualistic way of working and see it all as a journey. But it looks to me like the intentions of this administration are to bring about a joining of energies for the long term. How they see themselves as the Empress. That is a growing earth energy, abundant, expanding. It's like the expansive energy. They see themselves as expanding, getting more done, getting stronger at this point. Clarified by the Ancient Ones. They think they have the wisdom of the ages. The environment in which they sit is the Hanged Man, suspension of, it's like what we're all seeing is like there's this, we're being forced to watch this, and maybe from an uncomfortable position. But there's a call here to look at things from a different viewpoint. So the environment in which he sits, it's almost like it's this upside down world. We've talked about that, where we think these words and actions are leading to negative things, but they say they are leading to great things. And that's sort of what I'm seeing here, is like this administration believes it's hype. But it's in an environment where it seems upside down. And that's clarified by the blade. And, again, that blade is that sharp mind that is analyzing this now from the outside. That's the environment. It's like they are being critically assessed. Hopes and fears. There's a Seven of Swords. A lot of people talk about this as that thief card. The taking what is yours and leaving. cutting through and taking what belongs or maybe doesn't belong to you and exiting. With maybe losing some of them. He's dropped some. There's some falling as he's leaving. Like he's in such a hurry. He's taking more than really he can carry. More than is his right. So this is why it's seen as a theft card. In the position of the hopes and fears. That's interesting. Maybe they're trying to get away with something and they're hoping to get away with something. Tree of Life is clarified by the Tree of Life. You know, this Tree of Life is really, you see these two intertwined? You could think of that as the two roots, the masculine and the feminine. You could think of it as all of the dual things that are considered of only two are really one. There's never just two. If there's these two combining together to create one, then you have the two, and then you have the one they become, and that's the three. So there's always more than two. And in this is this growing thing of life. And so growth, so it could be there's a growth to the theft and they're afraid of it, or there's a hope that it will be discovered amongst us. Could be. Final outcome. People are going to hate this. Wheel of Fortune. So, you know, in this position, in this format, this is a card of very good luck. This says that they will have good luck, that fortune will favor this administration. And that is clarified by the Hunter. Could be that the hunting of fortune is what they'll do. This could be a seeking of good fortune. Could be a grift. Also, it could be, I mean, it is possible to read this in the context of these other cards as he's always subject to that wheel turning, and there may be someone seeking to turn it. You know, so there's always that end aspect of it too. The bottom of the deck should help us to understand, and that is the Fool. This is like taking away no one's ever done before, stepping off into the void. Will it work? Won't it work? It depends on so many things, clarified by the Child. Oh, this says to me that, unfortunately, in the more negative interpretations of what this person's doing, an immature, foolish, very foolish person who the Wheel of Fortune is hunting, but it can't be seen. We can't know when. But the kind of actions that this person takes because of their nature is leaving them constantly open. But like the Fool and the Child, they absolutely believe that what they're doing is for a higher good and a higher purpose. And it does not appear to be a selfish higher purpose. So it may be misguided. It may very well be misguided and immature. But there's a certain level of it that is based on energy agency. And so that is why this person keeps succeeding and moving things ahead when so many people feel like that seems to be, they just can't understand that. But I think what we have here is a very predatory person who knows how to use fortune to continue to move things ahead. So I think that's a little bit of an unsatisfactory read for people who might have wanted to get an idea of when this will actually end. But I don't think we can tell. I think it all depends on him. All right, hold on and I'll bring you up and we'll close this out. Okay, well, dear watchers, if there are any friends of mine who might have subscribed, I appreciate you. I wish I could have given you a reading that maybe more suits people's desires at this time, or at least a lot of people's desires. But, you know, I think energy-wise, that is probably really accurate. I don't know Donald Trump personally. I've never met him, never been to a rally. I know nothing about him personally other than, you know, anything I might have seen occur in front of my eyes on the news or whatever with him. So, but I will say that anyone who can so create an aura, a narrative, do the various numerous things that he has done in various arenas of competency and intelligence and creativity, from television to real estate to politics. This is not a person without substance. I'm sorry. You might not like his substance, but you don't do all of that and use the court systems as effectively as you have without some substance there. And of course, he's relied on a lot of other people, as all great people do. That's nothing there. So, and he has managed, whether by hook or by crook, to achieve the presidency twice. So I think that you have to open up your mind to understand that there's more to this person. It seems to me that actual events as they have unfolded on the ground have at some level exposed things, at some level opened up possibilities that, if you really think about it historically, you know, I think we want. So can't say that it's all bad either. Do I think it's dangerous? Do I think, for entertainment purposes only, that there was something hinky about the election? I do. And I think that the evidence has been pretty much destroyed. That was one of like the first things, and some of the first actions would have destroyed any evidence of that. So for, you know, the victor go the spoils, and somebody has rewritten it all so that he is in fact the winner, and nobody took it away. So that's how that goes. We could be in for seeing this go on for some time. But there is an indication in the cards that it won't reach the end of term for whatever reason. So I'll leave it at that, except to say, take some hope in the idea that this person really does seem to want to create sort of more well-being for all Americans. And I think that's what the purple tie is about. I think he's trying to bring that red-blue together and symbolically. So there's something to that. So don't give up the ship. But more importantly, when you are having an energetic down day, for whatever reason, if your system is saying, don't do the makeup, you don't want to do any of that, well, just don't. because there's probably a good reason somewhere for it, and it may not be evident now, but even by the act of doing it, you take a burden off yourself. You release yourself from something that you might otherwise find stressful. And that's what I hope for all of you. That whatever your walk is, whatever life you're living, whatever choices you're making, that you find it within yourself to take care of yourself, be in agency of your own energy faculties, and live in a way that brings you joy, that enlivens your heart, because you get to do that. You're here in this beautiful world, and even with its ups and downs, you get to be here, and you get to enjoy within yourself. You get to enjoy. That means, bring the joy within and create it. And then you get to put that out. And you can do that with any energy you choose. If you want to, it can be angry, ranty energy. Sure, that can be a lot of fun. It can be love. It can be a lot of things. It can be anything you want it to be. But does it create a sense within you of joy so that you walk through life knowing how special it is to be able to do it and appreciating all the connections you can make to everything, really, to everything, whether you choose the people, the animals, the trees, the plants, whatever. You get to do that. And I hope you enjoy all of this week and get to do that within yourself, for yourself, because you get to. All right? Love you guys. See you in a week.